Hello, pit boys and girls. So, this month, Mewtwo had his birthday. Yes, that's right. If you remember in Leaf Green, Fire Red, Red, Yellow, Blue, and Green, you would have found an island called Cinnabar Island, on which was a burnt down mansion, in which you found a journal depicting the discovery of a new Pokemon, Mew, also depicting the birth of another new Pokemon, Mewtwo, on the 6th of February. Later this month, we also see the 20th anniversary of the Pokemon game series on the 27th of Feb. Only a few years ago, we got rid of the travesty that was games for Windows Live. Now we might be getting something fairly similar. With the announcement of Quantum Break no longer being an Xbox exclusive, and it's coming to PC now as well, it's rather a Microsoft exclusive. Microsoft even said they would like to see a lot of games going this route in the future. Games for Microsoft Live. Very recent news, a private developer is in the works of remaking KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, in the Unreal 4 engine. If you've watched any of my other videos, you realize how much I actually love the Unreal engine. Now, as long as Disney doesn't step in, we may be seeing the remake of one of my favorite all-time games, and it will come out as something absolutely beautiful. I got to watch Deadpool this weekend, the opening weekend, and I enjoyed it immensely. I'm an avid reader of the comics, and they truly got the character pat. Now, my only regret is the Hollywood vultures are now circling because they've now noticed that an R-rated movie can actually make money, even if you're only catering to a select mature audience. It's a real mature movie. Now, because of this, we also know that there's an X-Force movie and Deadpool 2 in the works. Not sure if they're one and the same though. Rocket League comes out tomorrow for Xbox One. Now, unfortunately, it's still only going to be 2 for 3 with cross-platform play, and this is, as quoted by the Rocket League developers on Twitter, the Xbox platform doesn't allow for cross-play matchmaking between other systems as a general practice across all titles. I still dream of a world where all gamers can play with all other gamers. 2 great small titles came out last week. One being an exploration narrative game called Firewatch, where your only companion seems to be the voice on the other side of the radio. Apparently it has a whole bunch of random events and a decent playthrough. The second, Unravel, is a platforming game that follows Yanni as he goes to collect yarn keepsakes across the wilderness. As you travel through each level, you begin to unravel. Personally, I've seen the end of the game, which I'm okay with, but it's really worth a playthrough, and be prepared for them tears. I am amped for the latest Trackmania game, Trackmania Turbo. Now, Trackmania is a mixture between precision arcade racing, sounds weird, I know, and a game that you can just sort of get together with friends and have a ball of laughs. Because you don't actually interact with the other racers on the track, you can't go and blame your buddy for ramming you from behind. Trackmania is a precision arcade racer that is tons of fun to mess around with friends or as a competitive player. We get to see what the experience will deliver in March. I've recently got into playing H1Z1. Now, the reason why I like this version of the exploration survival crafting game as opposed to something like DayZ is the game times are relatively short and you don't have to get so attached to your character each time. Sometimes you'll carefully wade through the gas, slowly killing yourself, or you'll Rambo it up and just charge forward and kill everything in sight. There's a large RP element as well on most servers, and unfortunately, as with all games, a great deal of hackers. Now, on the 17th of February, we are seeing a split where H1Z1 is turning into 2 different versions of the game. One being called King of the Kill, which is what we're used to seeing in H1Z1. And the second being something called Long-Term Survival or something like that, which I think is going to go back to the old survival crafty game where you'll get super attached to your character and cry every time you die. Quick tidbit, yes, they have announced Destiny 2. For release in 2017, this is not an expansion pack, not DLC, but a fully fledged sequel. There are some people that are probably swearing, but I myself am fairly happy. I'd like to see what they do with the game that they don't scrap a year before release and rebuild. Now, my last thing is I salute you, games trailers, for all the years of videos. You guys are awesome. For the rest of you bastards, keep it real.
So remember, please give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and if you can, why don't you hit subscribe now?